Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today is not a vlog, it's a slightly different one. We said on our Facebook groups and things before Christmas that we wanted to do a few different videos this year, and we asked for some ideas. Now we actually got this idea from Jade Girl North because we saw her do a video of the 10 best things about 2020. So we thought we'd do ours. It might not be 10, we've both got some written down.
It might not be best, but highlights of 2020.
Yeah.
They've turned into best.
Yeah,
so.
we had, we wrote them separately, but we have gone over them quickly.
There's a few crossovers.
Yeah, there's a few crossovers. So these are what we think were the highlights for our 2020. Obviously you've seen them all because we daily vlogged. But we thought we'd just go over a few because, you know, a lot of people got into their heads that 2020 was like one of the worst years ever. But
for some people, I would imagine it could be.
Of course.
Depending, if you've had to spend sort of lockdown on your own.
Yeah.
But for us, it turned out very, very differently.
So let's crack on.
Right.
So shall I go first with the
well, the first one's kind of the same, isn't it? We started the year of being in Florida.
Let me get a pen. Yes, we started the year off well, and we thought, well,
this exact moment when we filmed this video 1 year ago today, we were actually in Florida on our first week.
Yeah. And while we were in Florida, we'll get to the Florida bit, that's my number one as well, Florida. While we were in Florida, we said, well, we love this, don't we? We love traveling and we love vlogging it and we love sharing our experiences and we love the community that builds up with the traveling.
Oh, wait a minute, you've got an advert.
So we said, let's travel this year.
That was our 2020 plan, to travel within the UK, within Europe, around the world, just visiting different places,
vlogging it all.
Every day's best kind of thing.
Yeah, and that went a bit tits up.
And then when we were in America and we went to California, it was starting to get a little bit concerning when we were walking around. We were seeing people in masks, and then we met our friend Ron, and he said he'd worked with coronaviruses before, and it was just He said at the time, he said it wasn't particularly bad. That was before it spread worldwide, and then within a month, the whole world was in lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and we were like, crikey, we got back just in time before it really started spreading.
When we were flying back from Disneyland, people had masks on, and we were like, look at them silly people with masks on.
We were saying, oh, look at them being overcautious, and little did we know that we'd eaten our words. But anyway, 12 months later.
That's obviously what happened after Disney World, but yes, Florida was probably the highlight of my year.
Yeah,
definitely.
The feeling of it, the whole experience was like no other experience before. I mean, we did do a California road trip many years ago, before we started the business, when we were still sort of in normal 9-to-5 jobs. And that was the best holiday ever. And just thinking back now to when we did the movie tours and we went and see Marty McFly's house and the E.T. house
last January.
Yeah, it's another world. It's just, who would have thought that we would have been where we are a year later?
If you've not seen those vlogs, go check them out from last January. I was saying to Nick the other day, we don't really watch our vlogs back. I edit it, it goes out, and then we look at the comments when it goes out.
We sometimes have to re-watch them to find out what people are talking about.
So I've probably actually never sat down and watched our Florida January videos after editing them. So maybe we'll sit down and watch them.
I think it'll do more damage than anything because it'll make us want to be back there.
That was one of my favourite days. I've got it down here actually. Disneyland and California as one of my other highlights. But come to Disneyland in a minute. The days like in California when we went to search for the movie houses, which was all Nick's idea, was fantastic.
We realised when we went last January that the Florida trip and the California trip wasn't all about Disney. We discovered so much more, and we like doing things that people haven't done before and making our own kind of
well, people have done
tours,
before, but they're not like
but they've not done it like we did it. We did it off our own back. We did our Google research. We knew what we wanted to go. I kept it all secret from Lee. If you watch the vlogs,
I guessed quite a few of them.
You guessed quite a few. You didn't guess the ET one.
Don't give it away if people haven't.
You didn't guess
the one that I guessed though. You were really surprised.
I was shocked at that. I didn't believe you'd ever get that. I was there. I've seen this particular film, and I wouldn't have recognised it if I were actually in the building. He recognised it the minute we pulled up front, and I was like, how the hell did you get that? So if you've not seen that, go and check out our movie locations vlog in California. When we go back, we are definitely going to do that. We're going to do a full day doing that. But there's a couple of big movie houses on that trip. and a couple of people lurking through curtains as we were staring at the front doors, aren't there? So that to me was the memorable day of 2020, I think.
So my second one, that was our first one. Just carry on from that one. My second one was Disneyland. This is not all about Disney, guys. If you don't like Disney, I've got loads of stuff that isn't Disney, but obviously
we're only on January.
The year started off in Disney for us. I've got Disneyland, flying to California. We thought Disneyland would just be like, I mean, it was only...
As expectations were very low.
Very low. We loved it. We were blown away by it. We absolutely loved it. And we want to go back there probably for a week to explore all the parks. So yeah,
it was a condensed version of Disney World in walking distance.
I really enjoyed it. And just the last thing about Disney for me, which is another highlight, probably one of my the highlights of the year, and my favourite advert.
Yeah.
My favourite ride of all time was the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
We were shocked,
which was
to the core.
It used to be Tower of Terror, and for me, I was like, oh, I wish they hadn't changed it because it just doesn't feel right.
Till we got on it.
We got on it. I've never screamed. I've never laughed as much in my whole life.
We were shocked. Pure shock.
Apparently, it's very similar to the Disneyland Paris one in terms of the Florida one takes you on that little ride first, so we were kind of expecting that, weren't we?
All the theatrics have been scrapped. It's right down to it. The minute you get on, the minute it starts,
you just fly up, fly down, fly up, fly down, fly up.
But they actually pull you down faster than gravity, so you're literally floating out of your seat.
And I was just crying with laughter.
That was the bit. We even wanted to go on, didn't we? And we couldn't get back on later on that day.
I'm really disappointed that we didn't make time to go back on, but we had limited time there.
Yeah. But we did. We went back and it was closed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was our last day there.
Yeah. And that's amazing. That is my favourite Disney ride. So that's it for Disney.
Right. Disney's done now.
Yeah. You go on for your next one.
Right. So the second one for me, what turned out to be like what felt like the world was ending was lockdown day. So as you know, if you watched our vlogs in March, we got notification that the UK was going to lock down and all lodging, caravan parks and campsites in the country had to close down. And even if it was like your second home, or second homes, you had to leave your second homes as well. So we thought, oh my God, because for us, we were in the process of, the plan at the time was basically to downsize our house, rent it out, and basically rent a small apartment just as a postal address. We got 2 months into, well, it was probably May time, wasn't it? About a month, 2 months in. Mm-hmm. And we both said if we were locked up in lockdown in a small flat or a small house, we would probably go stir crazy. So at that point, we decided that we needed to get something as a permanent address and obviously buy somewhere. And this is where this came about. And then once all that completed, we then moved into this place, which is basically, we'll come back to that because that's another highlight of mine. So when we moved out of the lodge and the morning we got back home and we'd got very much little furniture because all our old furniture was in storage, we had to take all the patio furniture, we had to borrow knives and forks from the lodge and things like that. And to us it was like, it was like a world. Yeah. We was like, but the morning we got up, it was warm, it was sunny, we'd had new carpets put in the house for the plan to rent it, we'd had it new decorated, it smelled fresh, it smelled new.
Well, just going back to the night before though, if you've seen the vlog, I know this may sound over dramatic to some people, but it was just what was happening that day. We'd moved our whole life to somewhere else. And I said at the end of the vlog, if I thought about it, I could cry. I remember saying it. Not from
the timing was unbelievable.
Just because we were so knackered, and obviously it was a scary time for everybody.
It felt like War of the Worlds. It was like a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think had we just gone to the co-op, and I'd almost had a panic attack because it was like, oh my God, all these people around.
So we literally stripped the lodge of food, pots, pans, things like that, anything we needed to get us through the summer because we knew we'd be there about 3 months.
So that night felt horrendous, and then as Nick
we woke up and it was like it was like somebody else's house because it was all new again and all fresh carpets and cozy under your feet, and then
we got used to it.
It completely felt like a holiday in our own house, didn't it? Mm. So lockdown for us turned out to be something completely different, and then we went through the summer. And it was warm and we were getting out doing exercise and seeing places that we didn't expect that we'd ever see in the local area where we lived. and it just wasn't expected, and it turned out to be one of the highlights. And when we did finally get back to the lodge, we did actually say we miss home, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, because it felt like home had kept us safe through the lockdown.
Yeah.
And
even though it felt like a new home.
When we got back to the lodge, it was like, oh, it's a bit weird being here, and
we didn't like it the first
week. We both
week.
said, I want to go back home and feel safe again. But we got used to obviously being back at the lodge. It was just, for everybody, it was a crazy time, and lockdown was something that none of us had experienced before, so it took a while to adjust to it.
So 3 days before we actually left lockdown to go back to the lodge, we actually came and viewed this apartment, and that all changed then from like the May to the July, right up to the September till everything completed and the old house had gone. All that basically changed.
Yeah. That is, apologies for dragging on the thing last year. It was just, we didn't want to talk about it until we knew that it was happening. So, I mean, I got down here as well, which is a bit of a crossover, the apartment.
I've got that as well.
It was a highlight for me, and you said yesterday, didn't you, that Nick asked me a question. He says, why am I all of a sudden really, really enjoying being at the apartment? And because lockdown has started again, lockdown 3, and I said, because we just, and again, actually this is another one of mine, I'm running through them.
I've done 2 already.
Mine is because lockdown has forces us to just chill out, not rush everywhere.
That's 2 days in.
Not be going, to be in queue every 5 minutes.
I mean, we knew. I mean, some people were saying on comments, why are you rushing to get the apartment done?
It's always
because
we
knew that we would end up being locked down again. So we wanted to at least get it livable.
Yeah.
So
Nick
a couple
said
of
to me
months in,
why am I enjoying it all of a sudden now it's locked down? And I says, because
I can see the fruits of my labour now.
Because you've been forced to just chill out, relax, and enjoy being at the apartment rather than thinking about DIY all the time. Although
I'm still thinking about DIY. I've still got things to do today, even now.
So that's one of mine. I've said lockdown, slowing down and less rushing about. That was one of my highlights, because in this busy world that we all live in, you sometimes just don't stop and reflect on life.
Lee's always wanted an apartment, though, haven't you?
I've always fancied.
You've always wanted the city life, and he's always wanted an apartment where we would have no lawns to mow and things like that.
And not just for that, because I like outdoor space. I mean, we've got a humongous balcony. In the summer, obviously we'll show you more of that, but it's too cold to use it.
It's freezing cold at the minute. We don't even look to decorating that, have we?
I've always fancied an apartment. I think it's because when I was younger, I always loved watching American programs. No.
Yeah.
Programs. And I just love the whole idea of apartment living in like New York and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, we're not in New York.
No.
So, next one.
Me or you?
Well, you've kind of nicked mine, because the new apartment, which was completely unplanned 1 year ago, we would have never dreamed that we would have been sat here doing this a year later in a different home, and it's just mind-blowing, but it's turned out to be one of the good things.
I'll go next then.
Go on.
This is like a 2-part thing. It's community.
Oh, you nicked my next one.
But a specific day when we went to say goodbye to the Virgin Jumbo at Manchester Airport. What was the Virgin Jumbo called? Goodbye, Pretty Woman. That's what you said. It's Pretty Woman.
And then you started crying.
I don't think
it was so hot. It was baking red hot.
Because we'd had full lockdown. We hadn't met up with anybody in months, I don't think. And we were still a little bit wary about meeting up with people.
The only person we'd actually known previously was Becca. So Dan and Laura and Sandy and Alex, we'd never met before.
No.
We'd never met Lee Dent before.
No. Obviously we knew these guys and we talked to them all the time. But the community bit was, again, came from lockdown, and we met more friends last year than we ever met in our whole life.
I think Jade said that from her video as well, didn't she? That was something that we hadn't planned or expected. I mean, we've had Discord for a couple of years, but lockdown changed that and brought everybody together, and we were having the confessional, and we were having parties and karaoke, and we were kind of making the most of doing the socialising virtually, which has gone beyond that now. It's hard to explain. It's just a strong memory and a strong good feeling in my mind.
One of the things that I said, I wrote in my journal the other day, when I was reflecting about 2020, and I said 2020
can do one?
Well, yeah, that too. 2020 kept us apart, but also brought us together like never before.
Well, you need a mem for that.
So yeah, the community that we've built, and people have contributed to has been amazing. Even things from like our Facebook groups, Instagram, it's fantastic, and you guys play a part of that, and we hope we could do our best to play a part of that as well. And so onto the Virgin plane, it was just a nice day, that, wasn't it?
It was completely. We planned to do it the week before, but they changed the date of the departure, so we basically put it off. And then it turned out to be a really, really hot summer's day. Went there with chairs and carried them down a road that was a mile long to get to the end of the runway, didn't we? And
we were laughing because it was the first time we met with people.
Yeah.
We were really social distancing, like more than 2 meters apart.
Like 50 feet apart in some cases.
And looking back, we've got photos of me like
other end of
a mile away from everybody else, and
we were still scared, weren't we?
Yeah, we all were. It was an uncertain time that we've got more used to now.
Yeah. Right, it was the first time we'd met Sandy, and she supplied us with set fizzy wine, toilet roll and kitchen roll. And even when we went and did a walk with her the other day, she said to us, "Do you need any kitchen roll?" And I'm like, "No, Sandy, we've got plenty."
Hi, Sandy. Right, do you want to choose one now?
Well, I've run out, but I've got another one.
You've run out?
Yeah, I'm going to nick one of yours now.
I've got lots more left.
So the next one was how Christmas would play out in the apartment.
Vlogmas.
So the plan was that we would be in Florida for Christmas. We'd also planned to go to Florida in the May, so during lockdown that was a bit of a blow that we wouldn't have been released, but we understand why. So we planned it for Christmas, and we kind of knew we wouldn't be going for Christmas as well.
So we expected to struggle through Vlogmas.
Yeah.
Because we said, what
the hell are we going to do?
What the heck are we going to do for Vlogmas?
Because all the restaurants were closed here, so you couldn't go out for meals and things like that.
But we ended up enjoying it, and I think we did well with Vlogmas.
Under the circumstances.
There's some highlights for us. I loved the Christmas tree. I loved our day in Leeds. That was the most Christmassy one for us.
When it snowed for me.
Oh, when it snowed,
snow day. We've only ever had one other snow day on our vlogs, and that was a couple of years ago when we were over at the lodge.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even Christmas, was it?
No.
And then it was gone within a day. So Christmas Day was different, and I loved going out and doing the walk.
On Christmas Day.
It felt Christmassy, even though we weren't with his family. We did our Zoom thing and sort of put open presents on calls and things like that. But I do hope we're not doing the same next year.
Yeah, it was
this
nice.
year. Sorry,
it was a one-off, but fingers crossed we'll be back to normal by then. So 2 more that I've got, and they were 2 days apart. So I'll start with the first one. Is the zip wire that we went to in Snowdonia. It was just because we had done things like say goodbye to the Virgin plane, etc. But throughout the year there was nothing what I would call exciting.
No get-togethers with people.
Nothing thrilling, nothing good on rides or anything. So this was like the one thrilling thing we did.
And we'd done the clap, hadn't we? Through
the clap.
Yeah, not had the clap. We'd done the NHS clap.
What's that going to do with zip wire?
Because we did it for charity.
Oh yeah,
for NHS. Dumbass.
So the zip wire, it was exciting. It was nerve-wracking. I was nervous about it actually. When I was hanging on the top one, and you hung for a while before they sent you off, and I started panicking a little bit in my head. I was thinking, oh my god, I need to get off this.
Yeah, the problem was though, you were hung at your head was there and your legs were up there, so all the blood
to be hanging.
went to your head. So every time you were like coughing or laughing, your eyes felt like you were almost bursting out the socket. So you were tilted, weren't you?
But once we set off, loved it, absolutely loved it. Obviously, Nick was at the side of me. Yaz and Ash was at the side of Nick. It was great to meet those guys and just everybody else who was there as well. Kelly and Dan and Richard and everybody. It was just a really nice day.
Yeah, freezing cold but nice.
And it was nice just to.
Charlotte was there.
Yep, Charlotte, Nikki. It was nice to have that adrenaline burst actually. After having such a sort of chilled out year, it was nice to have that burst of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Chris would have loved to be in there as well.
Yes. Doesn't quite compare to jumping out of a plane though, does it?
No, which Chris has done. Go and check that
out.
Yeah,
we won't be doing that.
It looks amazing.
We will be doing the slingshot thing, the catapult when we get back to Florida.
So the last one that I've got down was the day after the zip wire, and it was the Snowdon walk, which we did, as Nick said, for NHS charities. We raised quite a bit of money for that.
Almost $7 grand, didn't we?
Yeah, and just the whole sense of community, friendship, spurring people on. You know, there was a lot of
as well as keeping distance or trying.
Yeah, obviously. A lot of us kind of wanted to give up halfway up. It was a lot harder.
It was
than
hard.
We thought.
It wasn't like we thought.
But we all helped each other out. We all got to the top, and It was
There
fantastic.
was a particular moment where I thought, I'm not going to do this.
My legs.
And then I looked back and I saw Hannah and she was crying and I thought, shit, I've got to do it now because I've got to take her back if not. So we ended up struggling
Hannah got to the
we
top,
just did it a little bit at a time.
My legs were in pain coming back down.
Coming down was the worst.
But it was a great sense of achievement and a great
And the sun was
sense
shining
of-
when we got back.
Yeah, a great sense of community. After, what did we do afterwards?
We went back
We
to
all
the
had that
hotel
social distance drink on the Snowdon bench
outside the train station.
and we give out Richard kindly give out those little awards and packs, and loads of people said it was a day that they'll never forget. So it was great.
We actually got an email from NHS charities the other day just saying what the money that they'd used, what it had been used towards.
Yeah. So thank you for everybody that donated to that. You can actually still donate.
Yeah,
to
you
it.
can still donate.
We left it open for a couple of years, so that I put the link down below. If anybody wants to donate, still you can do. So we just wanted to do this video just to highlight that 2020, yeah, it may have
Wasn't
been
as bad as we thought.
It may have been a really bad year for some, and you know we all moaned a bit about it. It gets frustrating to be sat in all the time, but brighter days are ahead. Lockdown 3 is more positive because we know that while we're being in here, keeping away from people, there's vaccines out there
Being distributed.
So fingers crossed.
Sooner the better.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep positive, guys, where you can, and every day's best. Remember that. So would you like to finish the vlog? Thanks for watching, guys.
So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. Click the little bell at the side of it and you'll get notifications each night that we do new videos. We have a daily vlog every day, no matter where we are, what we're doing, whether we're on holiday or whether we're just bibbling around the house or out having toasted currant tea cakes. We put a vlog out every day. It keeps us sane.
Hopefully some of you guys says it keeps you sane as well, helps keep you sane, so that's nice. So drop us a comment below and hit the like button, and we'll see you tomorrow for a new video.
Bye for now.